Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. For day two of NA Amateur War, we are getting ready for our next game, Mint Gaming Rocky Road against CB Ibiza. And just some quick thoughts before we get into this game here. So, once again, CB Ibiza is coming off a win, Rocky Road is coming off a loss. This is a very critical game for both teams, really, because Mint Gaming, they still need one more win to qualify and lock themselves in for playoffs, while CB Ibiza are now very much on the cusp of potentially getting the first seed.
I
Yeah, and I
think that
mean,
go ahead,
no,
Ryan,
go.
sorry.
I mean, yeah, just looking at how this works here, there is definitely ways that they can come through, and we're gonna have to see what ends up coming out of this game. But for MGR, you just need to win one. You just need to win one, and you're locked in first place. So
Yeah,
Moose, your boys they gotta get one.
I know I think they got it, but I mean they're going up against the Church of Dilly in the bottom lane,
exactly.
which
Yep.
is definitely going to be a very tough battle for sure. But this game does have such an implication for a group A. And even just this round in general, if TD Aftermath is able to win this game, they're going to be they're going to be 3-2. uh, then if CB Ibiza is able to win this game, they're going to be 3-2. If Mint Gaming Rocky Road is able to win this game and TD Aftermath is able to win their game against Chef, like it creates just such a big chance, such a huge opportunity for TD Aftermath to win. But if CB Ibiza is able to somehow eke out a win here, it still remains wide open. So the results of this match are going to be super pivotal, and every single moment is going to count.
Absolutely. Every single moment's going to count. Every second's going to count. And as we all have seen, your draft picks do matter, especially the order in which you draft. So if you pick a very, immobile type carry and you see them picking some engage, it might be better to pick something that can have some type of crowd control, AoE, to ensure that your backline isn't just a sitting duck. I'm sure Rocky Road will not make the same mistake that they made in the first game, right, Moose?
Uh,
No, no limit testing, right?
I don't know. I mean, we were talking about this in the break where, maybe there was a little bit of limit testing from Rocky Road. I don't know for sure. I'm not in their heads. Um but regardless of it, they did drop the ball. Regardless of whether or not it is a limit testing, regardless of whether or not they just got outdrafted, they still dropped the ball and they lose their first game in groups. So I mean, really looking to see what they're going to be able to bring to the table. They're going to be on blue side once again, so they get that very important B1 pick. Are they going to pick it up with a Jinx, or will they go in for something that's a little bit more meta right now? Animantis does have a pretty wide champion pool, so the options are endless for Make Me Rocky Road. But CB Ibiza is no slouch. They are a formidable opponent, and
Mhm.
it's going to be a really fun battle. Pay attention to the bottom lane here in this game.
Yeah, pay attention indeed. But before we cut into draft, let's get predictions. Right, Chains. We're gonna start with you. Who do you think's gonna win this game and why?
Oh man, I mean, last game I went
Commit.
against
Gotta
Mid
commit
Gaming.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I want to commit to just the full anti mint gaming train. Um,
CB
I
Ibiza
mean,
went 1. Church of Dilly went 10, 6, and 11. It was a 46-minute banger.
I'm gonna switch it up here. I think that if Mint Gaming can figure out these issues that they're having in draft, they can definitely come pull through and take this game. I think a lot of the issues that we saw actually were the cause of the draft in the last game. So hopefully they've been able to figure that out in this little time in between. But I'll go back to Mint Gaming here, and I think they could take this one and lock their spot.
Right. Moose?
Alright, so I got a 5 head prediction right here. I am currently in my tournament game predictions
Uh-huh.
for groups. I am currently 0-4. I have not gotten
Are
a
you really?
single. Yeah, I'm currently 0-4. I am
No.
at
Oh,
every
so
single
whoever
every
you
single
pick
team
loses.
that I predicted has gone in. So You
Oh
know, I
snap!
still I'm still somewhat biased towards Rocky Road, so I'm gonna predict that CBI is gonna win this game. Don't
The reverse
don't bring
curse.
don't bring out the pitchforks if CBI ends up winning McGaming Rocky Road. I don't know what I'm doing here, but before we do any of that, redacted. What is your 1 in 5 prediction for the Dragon Soul and Rift here in this game?
Okay. I think it's gonna be a Ocean Rift, and I also predict CB Ibiza winning. By the way, just putting that out there. Yeah, yeah,
Dang, I'm alone.
yeah.
Oh,
I just want the drama. That's all. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I just want the drama and juiciness. So that's me.
Sounds good.
Well,
I,
with that being said, we have our predictions. We have our takes and our analysis and whatnot. We are ready for draft. I'm gonna pass it over to our wonderful casters for this draft. We'll see you on the other side.
all right. Yeah, thank you so much, Redacted. We are now ready to jump into probably one of the most important battles that we have had in amateur world groups A so far. Mint Gaming Rocky Road is looking to secure their spot in the playoffs, but CB Ibiza is looking to be able to even out the set score between these two teams, with both of them going 3-2. But we are racing through the drafts. Rocky Road is banning out some bottom lane picks against the Church of Dilly. You've got the Kale getting banned out along with the Strana Lucian. CB Biza is going for a different route entirely with the Kog'Maw, but then the Lilia and the Gwen getting taken away.
Senna left up though, and Wukong left up. There we go. I like this first pick a lot here for Min Gaming, taking away that Wukong. Super strong pick in the meta right now, and I mean I mentioned it like before game one, but this champ just runs. This champ's a problem in every single game that I've ever seen in the past like 2 months. So definitely a big fan of that. And CBI gonna lock in the Ezreal for their bottom lane.
Yeah, Ezreal is. I don't know how I
Oh,
feel about Ezreal, man.
ugh.
But I definitely have some opinions about Ezreal Karma. It's such a bully lay, and I just feel like I'm back in fourth grade, and I'm trying to pick a fight with my school bully, and I'm just gonna get beaten up. Karma Ezreal just is able to be such a nuisance in that lane and does have a lot of power in the early game. So Mid Gaming Rocky Road, they've decided to maybe kind of forfeit a little bit out of that early game power and go towards the mid to the late game with that Samira Renata locked in. And I gotta tell you, right, Chains, I witnessed the most perfect hostile takeover the last time that I saw Renata Glass played. It was yesterday, Victorious Triumph Series. The guy fought, or the Renata just lands beautiful 5-man hostile takeover. So I know that it's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when you're pairing it up with the Wukong, someone who has an AoE knockup, has that ability to hit or crowd control multiple people at the same time. I mean, it does look pretty juicy for this Renata pick here. And just to even add on to that, you know, adding Renata, pairing it up with the Samira allows Samira to just kind of go crazy in the fights and be less worried about actually dying because you know you have that W. And it becomes time to fight or die. So
100%, 100%. Shyvana is going to be the last pick up here for CB Ibiza. That is somewhat of a flexible pick. It can go into the top lane, probably going to go into the jungle, so you're really looking to be able to play for that early game here. Because of Shyvana's passive being able to get that extra damage and those extra stats with every dragon that goes down. So I think the play is pretty loud and clear for CB Ibiza in this draft. They want to look to be able to play towards the bottom side of the rift and get to an early Dragon Soul.
yeah, absolutely. And we saw TDA effectively stack the dragons in the last game. You know, 3 uncontested. And it looks like CBI is going to try and do that same thing with this bully bottom lane. Swain going to be locked in for the mid lane. And Kyton and Mint Gaming going to respond with their solo laners here. Mordekaiser in that top lane. And that's a blind Mordekaiser pick, I would assume. I mean, you have to think Shyvana is going to be going into this jungle here. And Aurelia is going to be the last pick. So getting a little spicy at Mint Gaming. They're feeling themselves a little bit in this draft, I think.
Yeah, both Mordekaiser and Aurelia can potentially flex into the mid or potentially into the top lane. But even more important than that is that this Wukong Mordekaiser is also flexible as well. Wukong can go into the mid lane, the jungle, or the top lane, with the Mordekaiser then going into the jungle themselves. So they're looking to be somewhat flexible here. We didn't actually get the confirmation of that last pick here from CB Ibiza. It is Urgot that's going to be locked in. So kind of playing the field here a little bit, kind of expecting maybe that it is going to be either the Aurelia or the Mordekaiser in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would imagine from what I'm seeing here. Um, would I assume it'll be like Mordekaiser top, Aurelia mid? I feel like that's you see more often the Aurelia being taken into the mid lane. Um, I don't think either is that good of a matchup into Swain just due to the range versus melee matchup, and then also like uh, you know, early game Swain is pretty strong. But I guess we'll have to see it when we go into the actual client draft. But Urgot, I don't know. I don't think we see Urgot too much in competitive, but it definitely is an exciting pick when you get to see it.
I agree. Fear Beyond Death has so many implications with the wombo combo that you could potentially provide with it. Not only can you potentially go in with the Fear Beyond Death into the Flash, but you are also a tanky, beefy boy that can hold your own against many of the other top laners that you play. My biggest concern is I think the 1v1 between Aurelia and Urgot potentially, because Aurelia is one mean girl, and definitely is channeling some of that Lindsay Lohan energy. Once you're able to get to that 15-20 minute mark, but I don't think that it's going to be a top lane Aurelia. I actually think that it's going to. I think it's going to be an Aurelia mid going up against the Swain, and Wukong is going to be in the jungle, but we still have to find out. These teams are just waiting. We're waiting to see what they're going to be playing, and I'm itching to find out what this is going to be. I just saw Matt put the smiley face with the Urgot. It's beautiful. I laughed.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a banger here. We already talked a little bit about it, but big playoff implications coming out here. You got to win if you want to make it in. And, mid gaming just got to win one game. If they don't take this one, then, then they're going to have to take the game against the chefs in the next one. But we'll see what happens here. Kaiten did have some internet issues. So it looks like trying to get him back in this lobby here, and I think we are close. I think we're close.
Yeah. Um. Better to better to have the disconnect before the game than during it. And 100%. I think that we have the opportunity to, talk about these drafts a little bit more, maybe talking about the drafting style that is coming in. If we've got time, because it does look like we are going to take a little bit of time before it restarts, I'd like to get Redacted back in here to maybe talk about the draft in general. Maybe we could talk about that. Maybe we can go in. Regardless of that, though, while we get Redacted back in here, I want to talk about just the playoff implications of this in general. If have you ever, I don't know, have you played in any tournaments yourself, right, Chains? Is that something that you're familiar with, or are you just a
Yeah,
caster?
yeah. So I play collegiate for Ohio State, or at least I did
Wait,
this year, and I
I'm
played like
muted.
amateur
Hold on
level
a
stuff
sec.
like that.
Okay, we got Redacted back in here. I totally put Redacted on the spot. I got the big eyes. I got the like the look. I can feel it. But no, Redacted. I want to talk to you about this draft because we're waiting. We got we gotta talk about this draft, Redacted, and you're one smart cookie, and so I want to hear your thoughts.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I was definitely caught off guard as I was troubleshooting some other my own computer issues. Everyone's just it's just a week for it's just a day for computer issues apparently. Like we're all having computer issues, but mine aren't as unfortunate as the members of CB Ibiza right now. So, oh, am I having mic issues?
No, you're good. It's
Oh,
me. I'm the problem.
oh, okay, gotcha, understood. Uh, hold on a sec. I might be having some mic issues.
I think it's just a
Uh,
different mic,
Yeah,
or at
okay.
least it sounds a little different. But I don't know.
yeah. It's a different audio in source, maybe.
Mic check, mic check. Are we good now?
We'll work with it. We'll
It's
work
good
with.
enough. It's good
Okay.
enough.
All right. Cool,
Yeah.
cool, 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 cool.
Uh,
Um, like I was saying though,
Okay, I think I figured it out.
Oh
There
god,
it is.
that's what we wanted. Let's go.
um, yeah. So looking at the draft, let's see here. Yeah, Wukong Samir. I like Mint Gaming's. Um, I like their draft. You know, they have this. Samira is a very bold pick, right?
Yeah.
Like I think we all agree, Samir's a bold pick. Samir and Irelia are both very bold picks. Especially because this Irelia will be in the hands of Kanye. I believe. I'd be very shocked if we saw more mid, or more jungle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's very bold. But it's also says to me confidence. You know, Rocky Road. Yes, they lost the game, but they are obviously and very apparently they're not playing scared. Like, you know, they're not playing like, okay, let's play more safe picks, tanks, where we protect Animantis and ensure that he can do what he needs to do once we get to that late game. They're like, no, we're still gonna fight you head on. Like that one game, yeah, we lost, but so what? You know,
Yeah.
it's okay. Losses happen. You know, we're not gonna be 6-0 undefeated anymore, but we're still gonna get out this group.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, I think that it doesn't
yeah,
really matter, right? They just need to win one. So I think they're playing
exactly.
no pressure. They're just like, we've already beaten every team once. We can do it again.
Yeah.
There's no need to stress too much about stuff like this. So,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. But I think on the other hand, if they do lose this, they're gonna be really nervous for that last game. Depending on who wins the other game. It is Chef versus TDA, which TDA is 2-2. So yeah. So if Chef win, they really I know Mint Gaming, if they lose this, will really be rooting for Chef to win then, on the other hand. But if they win,
Yeah.
then they don't care, obviously. Um,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, CB Ibiza though, their draft is interesting, you know, because so here's the thing about a lot of these teams, like as you said, Moose, a lot, or I believe actually it was right, James. I'm sorry. Um, you said a lot of these teams, they like Diamond and below, when they play these poke comps specifically, they sometimes don't really think about how to use them very effectively. Um, and I think actually we are ready for client draft here. But I mean, if
Let's
production wants to keep me
go.
on while they're doing client draft, that's fine. But otherwise,
Redacted. I want as many moments of you on camera as possible.
Oh
okay, well
yeah.
then I'm gonna get this piece off real quick while we're getting client draft going. So with CB Ibiza, their draft, I don't have an issue with it. I'm more nervous about their execution with it. Cause it's
Mm,
really a poke comp, right? You want to poke with Ezreal and Karma, grab somebody with Swain, Urgot and Shyvana are then gonna go cause chaos. But the thing with those compositions are these teams know like they know how to play the champs, but not really together and around these neutral objectives and whatnot. And then they end up team fighting. With poke comps, you want to siege. You want to go back and forth, poke a little bit, run away, poke some more. You want to be that annoying mouse on Tom and Jerry. You want to mess with Tom a little bit, punish him, run away, and then punish him again. A lot of teams don't do that with poke comps, and then that's how they end up getting blown up and losing. So
Mhm.
I expect to see CB Ibiza, especially around these neutral objectives. They I mean, they don't have. It's not an issue if they get to the objective first, because you know, then they could just burn it. Obviously, escaping will be a little bit of an issue, but you got Swain, Siobhan, and Urgot to help you get out, plus the Karma Shield, Mantra E. Um, but they'll really excel if they let Rocky Road get there first and then poke the crap out of them and then engage with your engagers. So hopefully they can use that to their advantage and play that well. But we'll see. You know, we'll see.
We'll
So
see. We will see. We will see. And I think that is the phrase of the day, right? We will see. We'll find out how it's going to be played out, but we do have the confirmation that it is Thunder McBusters playing as the Wukong Kanye, who is a self-proclaimed Aurelia enjoyer, one trick pony Aurelia player, going to be in the mid lane up against Chitin as the Swain here. Gonna be interesting, I think,
yeah,
for the entirety of Mint Gaming Rocky Road's composition, because maybe they were kind of joking around with me in the client chat. They were asking me, Coach Moose, how do you feel about this draft? I'm like, no, don't you be putting that on me. I don't have opinions that matter. No, but while we're getting into the draft, I want to ask maybe an open-ended question, but we're talking about gold level players, and last game I think it was execution of composition that won out for TD Aftermath, especially in the early game, and then when in the late game when Buckby was able to land those plays with the Vex. But in your guys' opinion, what do you guys think is the easiest composition just overall to execute? And points if you're able to maybe kind of relate that into gold level play. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on an easy composition
you
that these
mean
players can go
like
for?
these drafts, or you mean in general? Like, give a draft example.
Just in general, what's your thought on easy composition? Because we talked about these two teams and maybe their questions about their draft, but I just want to know your general thoughts. I want to we're podcasting a little bit right as we're getting into the game.
Well, quick blurb for me. Easy was TD Aftermath's draft. Like, literally, you have a bunch of champs that just press R and then CC.
Yes.
And then you have the Viego and Vayne that come in and do the cleanup. That is easy. I mean, obviously, if you miss your ults, then you're kind of screwed. So you just back off for a bit and try and poke. But if you land those ults, that's easy.
Yeah, I
Fair
mean, I
enough.
think at its core, it's the 5v5 team compositions, like the teams where you want to just death ball, you want to fight as much as you can. You have big AoE ultimates. Malphite is like one of the main examples of that. Wukong is good too.
Hacker room.
Yeah, yeah, just any composition where your goal is to 5v5 team fight. You want to be fighting all the time. You want to be using your ultimates effectively, kind of like you said redacted. And just always scrapping. You know what I mean? That's kind of the name of the game here, and it's usually the easiest to execute because people want to fight naturally. I mean, you even saw it in the first game of the day. I mean, TDA was trying to fight and they didn't even have their team there. So, you know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, and because I just like asking 20 questions, I guess. I already got your prediction for game 2 redacted. Right chains. What's going to be the Dragon Soul for game 2?
I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it.
You're gonna
I
stick
think it's gonna
Cloud?
be Cloud. Yeah.
I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
I forgot about
deviate.
that one.
I'm gonna have to deviate. I think we're gonna see a Mountain Rift this game.
And I said ocean, in
Yeah.
case
All
anyone
right.
forgot.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be fire now.
It's gonna be
Right.
fire. It's
Or
gonna be
Hex.
fire. It's gonna be lit. But
Yes.
I think we've wasted enough of the viewers' time. We've got ourselves into about 30 seconds away from the spectator delay. Redacted, it's always great to talk about the draft with someone so smart. So thank you for winging it a little bit as I forced you back in.
It's
But
all good. I was just managing my technical difficulties, which I still need to go figure out.
well,
But
we're gonna
I'll
we're
see
gonna
y'all
let you figure
later.
those out. Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
let you figure that out. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back. Game 2 of Amateur Worlds Gold Group A, Day 2. It's technically not Game 2, it's Game 5, but despite all of that, we've got ourselves a really important game on our hands. We talked about it a lot in draft, but let's just go over it really quickly once again. Fifth, going to be playing as the Mordekaiser, Thundermic Busters, the Wukong, Kanye as the Aurelia, Animantis and Slide Torque as Samira and Renata in the bottom lane. That is your roster for Mint Gaming Rocky Road, and they are here to play in Game 5.
And on the red side for CB Ibiza, Kobita on the Urgot in the top lane, one singular piece of bread on Shyvana in the jungle, Kaiten on Swain in the mid lane, and Dilly and Arrow rounding out the bottom lane with the Ezreal and the Karma. It's gonna be a good one.
Let's go. It's gonna be great. All right. Ride chains. Favorite. If you could only have one singular slice of bread, do you have like a favorite? Do you like white bread, wheat bread, potato bread, a rye bread? What's your go-to?
I mean, you know, if we're talking just plain bread, it's probably white bread. But if we're not talking plain bread, like some garlic bread action.
Oh, garlic bread. Oh, you remember the memes back in like 2016, 2017? It all revolved around garlic bread.
Yeah, it's fire.
It is. It's fire. It's lit, and it's gonna keep the vampires away.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, a sourdough. I forgot about sourdough. That's true. That's a good call.
Oh, sourdough.
That's a good call.
All right, really quick. I was introduced when I was living, at an old house. Not an old house. The house wasn't old, but it was the house that I used to live in with some roommates. I was introduced to potato bread. My favorite bread now. I use it for all of my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It's super delicious. If you guys ever have the chance, check out potato bread. It's totally worth it. Singular piece of bread to eat. Go for it. It's too good. But speaking of too good, we got two great teams. Two good, phenomenal teams looking to be able to battle out against each other. And so far, the early game has gone, I think, expected from Mint Gaming Rocky Road. They haven't lost anyone yet, so good start.
Yeah, absolutely a good start here. And just looking, kind of at what these team compositions want to do, it's a lot of just 5v5 scrapping from Rocky Road, but Thunder in the bottom lane.
Oh man, Dilly is going to be hit in. The Church of Dilly is in trouble as Animantis goes forward with the dash. Gonna have to flash away. Side Torque is now extremely low as we got the potential for First Blood coming through. Animantis will fall. First Blood gonna go over to Arrow Cross.
Okay.
Church of Dilly will pick up a second one. Oh my god, disaster for Rocky Road.
Oh my, yeah. Really, really bad there, especially because Thunder was the one that actually came for the gank, and you're still getting double killed. That is so bad for Mint Gaming, and that's gonna put them significantly behind in this bottom lane. And it's not like they're playing a scaling, but I mean they're playing a bottom lane that wants to snowball. So
it is absolutely disastrous. You come back with a Sheen and a Tear of the Goddess for Dilly. Like, the church donations today were just so good at the beginning of service for him. And it's the absolute perfect start for an Ezreal less than 5 minutes into the game because now Mantis comes back with just a longsword. That's just such a bot lane diff at this moment.
yeah, I mean longsword versus Tyr and Sheen. It's a little bit of a difference here as Kanye goes for some trading in this middle lane.
Yeah, Kyneton's gonna be down, gonna be ignited, gonna come through as Flash comes in. Singular Bread is on the way. But without level 6, can't really do much. Will force the Flash for Ignite, I guess in favor of Kanye there.
Yeah, definitely, that's going to be great if you're Kanye because Flashless Swain in the early game is still pretty vulnerable. Top lane, some fighting going on here as these big boys are scrapping it out. But look at all this action in the bottom lane. We're going to get some explosive fighting here.
Yeah, Animantis gonna go forward, gonna be able to miss the Flux. So he's gonna be able to avoid that for the time being, but Kaiden gonna come through. Swain has just been such a phenomenal part of both these games against Mint Gaming Rocky Road. Gonna continue to be the case. Kaiden, the Emperor of Noxus, gonna be in with the double kill.
Wow, and just more gold influxed into this team. And to add on and make matters worse, the Ocean Dragon is going to be the first one picked up for CB Ibiza. And the dragon stacking has started for the Shyvana. That was the Ocean. Next one is Infernal.
Okay,
So
all right. We got it though. We got a chance. We have a chance.
yes, yes, we do have a chance. We'll see. Still, again, 33% chance, but we'll go with it and see what happens here. And I feel like we're gonna get a lot more fighting in this bottom lane.
Yeah, Slidetork's gonna get rooted. Nice use of the Windwall from Adamantis to be able to stop the flux, but I mean, this is not a play and not any trades that Gaming Record wants to go for. Level 3 for Slidetork and Adamantis, just now level 4. Dilly is level 5, and look at this wave. It's massive, and there's no response from Rocky Road. They just can't.
Yeah, they can't fight it all here. They have to clear this wave, and they have to try and gain some of that golden XP back because they are really far behind at this point. Now, the CS doesn't look too bad, at least in numbers, but the XP is where it's counting right now, and there's a lot of XP differential here. Finally ticking on that level 4, and it looks like already a blue buff handoff to Chitin by Singular Bread is pretty early handoff.
I think that it's fair because Singular Bread doesn't use any mana, so you give that over to Chitin, who loves getting mana, who loves having the most mana possible, right? So you're able to keep all of your spells going on and on and on and on. But I think that it just continues to allude to the fact that Mint Gaming Rocky Road is such behind the 8 ball here in this first game. Or second game, pardon me, today. Thunder McBuster is going to get hit by the Visions of Empire, going to be slowed, and does not have Flash. Going to be down to about 300 HP. Will get away, but the chickens are the sacrifice to be able to keep him alive.
Yeah, and this becomes very dangerous for Adamantis and Slidetork. If they want to stay here, they can easily get dove. I mean, I guess it looks like Singular Bread and Chitin don't really want to aggress further out, but chunking Thunder like that and only taking away the Raptors seems like it wasn't punished enough, at least to me. I think that they could have easily just ran to the entire bot side and just went for the 4-man dive, and the game would have been over, I think, at that point. But
yeah, I think that, if red buff was taken, if there was any other death against Thunder McBusters, puts him so far behind Singular Bread, who on top of the 2 assists, has the Balmy Cinder and has that first stack unlocked of the Fury of the Dragonborn. So you have just so much potential here for CB Ibiza to just continue to keep up this momentum and find the plays, but it's not over yet in the solo lanes. Kanye versus Chitin is still relatively even despite the double kill against or for the Swain. Kobita and Fifth are, duking it out. They are practically even in gold. So the game is still young. Just once again, Rocky Road behind the 8 ball.
yeah, I mean, same thing we saw last game. Just Mint Gaming getting behind early in the game. I do like their chances a little bit more in this one, as they are more of like a 5v5 death ball composition rather than trying to play that 4-1, which is a little harder. I mean, Wukong and Samira can always pop off, so there's definitely still a lot more opportunities for Mint Gaming in this one.
I think so. I mean, it's still as disastrous, I would say. Maybe not as terrible because the Rift Herald hasn't been taken yet. It's a Swain in the mid lane, so you can't actually, I think, go in for those really important side lane plays with the Swain and be as impactful. It still is somewhat impactful because you're able to drop the Visions of Empire. If you land that could be executing potentially a kill there, but you still have the potential to get the Rift Herald if you are Gaming Rocky Road, but that's not the play. They're looking to be able to go for a play here in the bottom lane. Adamantis is going to be rooted down, and so much damage taken. Going to be hit by the True Shot Barrage, but will be able to get away. Thunder McBusters going to force out the flash from Arrow Cross as well as the Ignite, but that is a full health, full summoner spell. Dilly and they're gonna have to run away from Singular Bread as he comes in with that fully charged rage.
Yeah, and it almost seems like Thunder McBuster's ganks are not for his team, but for the other team, because every time he comes into this bottom lane, it seems like they're losing the play. But nonetheless, here, the second dragon of the game is the Infernal has spawned, and it has been started up by CB Ibiza, and I don't really think there can be any contest as Animantis went back home, and should be able to secure this one. And already, the dragon stacking continues, and it's gonna be the Hex Texel again.
Oh my lord, we're wrong again. 2 games in a row,
Ridiculous.
Riot Chains. We need to speak to someone at Riot, this manager, someone. Otherwise, this I'm gonna have to go full Karen. I'm not happy that I didn't choose directly 2 games in a row. But I mean, it happens. Good things come in pairs, and good things come to those who wait as well. And I think that that's what Mint Gaming Rocket Road is looking for right now. They're looking to wait it out and get to a point where Kanye and Fifth are able to potentially go into those 1v9 power plays.
Yeah, and it's definitely possible here as Era, pulled under the tower, gonna take some tower aggro back, and now HP is kind of similar, maybe a little bit in advantage for Rocky Road, but True Shot Barrage gonna tilt that way, and Singular Bread is now on this top side, so could look for that play there. I think Shyvana has a pretty good time soloing this Rift Herald in the early game. Still has time to get it out before plates too, if you go for it now. But for the time being, no action, and everyone's taking their resets, trying to spend their gold.
Exactly. I think that for Mint Gaming Rocket Road here, the slower that the game is going, the better that the situation becomes, because they did give over just so much early gold to CB Ibiza just in the mid lane and in the bottom lane, that they do have to play with the respect that a somewhat fed Dilly provides to a team. Being able to go in for potentially that first item here very soon. It's now looking to be the play is going to be going towards that Rift Herald. So potentially going to be a 2v2 here. Fifth is going to get a lot of damage onto Kobita and could potentially decide to go into the death round, which he does decide to do. Fear Beyond Death is available for Fifth, but Kobita is going to be taking so much damage, and the Cyclone from Thunder McBusters is huge. Going to be able to get that kill against the Urgot, and Singular Bread, well, he was able to get the Rift Herald, was not able to avenge his top laner's death.
Yeah, and 2v2 in the top lane is Mint Gaming favored. They're not going to get that Rift Herald, but at least going to get a kill on the board there for themselves. And let's just talk about Fifth, how big he went in the death roam there, doing so much damage and leaving Kobita at 1 HP when he come out. It's a pretty easy kill to finish off despite Singular Bread being there.
Yeah, personally, I think that Thunder McBusters, he's just so far behind, so being able to get that kill is definitely very good. But the play is now going to be that Rift Herald in the bottom lane. Shelly has spawned, and Animantis is not in a good spot. Gonna use Singular Bread to be able to dash into a good position as he goes in with the Inferno Trigger, but it goes right in to the Visions of Empire. Singular Bread will be able to pick up one as Chitin is now potentially on the way to make this a 4v3 situation. Kanye is in trouble, but will get some assistance from Thunder McBusters. Can't land the stun, can't land the damage, so they'll have to walk away. First tower and the 5th kill of the game going over to CB Ibiza.
Yeah, and I think it was only a matter of time before that play actually happened. I mean, just look at this difference right now in the bottom lane. 100 to 64 CS in favor of Dilly, and it's full bot lane dominance right now for CB Ibiza. And the interesting part about it is that, this bottom lane for Mint Gaming had the first and the third highest stats in the league after day 1. And they're kind of getting tossed around in both of these 2 games, at least in the early game that I've seen so far. So definitely got to give props out to, these opposing bot laners for being able to, not be intimidated by the scoreline, not be intimidated by the opponents. And Animantis could be in trouble.
He's gonna get ignited, so he's not gonna be there to be able to get any more damage. Slide work going to sacrifice a massive chunk of damage to be able to get that light in, but now the play in the top lane, Kanye is gonna drop the Vanguard's Edge, and the damage will follow. Kanye will pick up their first solo kill. Going to be able to get on the board now with 142 CS and a decent position here in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's really big for the Aurelia here. It's going to start the snowball and definitely going to make side landing and playing the game quite easier. Going to get pressure onto this top lane tower as well here. Might even be able to take it all the way, but the dragon spawning in about 5 seconds here. This is a potential Hextech Soul for CB Ibiza at only 16 minutes. They are powering through these dragons. And it looks like they're going to be just started up on spawn here. 2 members strong in this mid lane, holding back the rest of the team, but Arrow could be in trouble.
Yeah, Thunder McBuster is going to go in for the flash cyclone play. Aerocross is going to be in trouble. Will fall to the obliterate from 5th, so it's 1 kill and a tower for Dragon. Meanwhile, the drag does not come in, as the death run from 5th was used. He's going to get that extra stat line. And now they're looking to be able to push forward. With Aerocross dead, they have the opportunity to be able to get a massive amount of damage onto this tower, but it actually is going to be Chitin dropping the Demonic Ascension, as well as a True Shot Barrage. Slytorque flashing away from the Talon's grasp, and Adamantis now going to be in trouble as well. Loyalty program will get used, and that's going to be a play onto him, but Adamantis survives. What a massive, massive loyalty program from Slytorque to keep his ADC alive.
Oh my gosh, that was just crazy here. 5-man ultimates coming out, Bread going in with a huge engage, hitting everyone, and then Slytorque with that nice ultimate to, you know, and the W to keep Adamantis alive, and somehow no one from Mint Gaming dies off of the back of that play. Gold lead? Less than 1,000 gold, though, as Mint Gaming is working their way back into this game. And you know what? They are going to need to get some gold onto the Samir at some point soon, but it's definitely plausible for Kanye and, you know, the top half of this map to carry this game.
All right. Really quickly, I got to say it again, as Slytorque might be in trouble here.
Good night.
He's going to use a bailout. Okay, he's going to be able to survive. Barely, though, but he does. I gotta, you know, point it out because I guess I am dyslexic news today. Can't read. The W's name is bailout for Renata. It's loyalty program. That's the E. That's those twin spear things coming through. I don't know why I didn't read that correctly, but regardless of that, the bailout from Slytorque in that last play for Adamantis was great. He's able to use that to get that extra little bit of movement speed to keep him alive in that potential play from Dilly and Aerocross. So it's still a very strong position for CB Ibiza. The 3 dragons, it's a really nice set with Infernal, Ocean, and Hextech. Baron is going to be up in a minute and a half. Dragon in 244. What is the response going to need to be from Rocky Road here?
And we'll see. Hold on. There's a play coming in the top lane.
Yeah, Death Run's going to come in. Kobita is going to be the target, and he does get it right as the Death Run comes through, and 5th is going to look to be able to go for this 1v2 solo kill, obliterate damage in, and he wins that trade. Great use of the Death Realm.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, you know, 5th is a problem in this game. 2-0-2 on this Mordekaiser. Has got over 8 CS per minute. Feeling very, very strong. And top half looking strong for Mint Gaming. And, you know, there's going to have to be what they opt to play through if they want to have a chance at winning this game. You got to be playing through these strong members. And, you know, I think the most important thing is to be there and be ready when this dragon spawns, because you need to deny that soul as much as possible. The Herald being taken up right now as a fight going on to the bottom lane.
Yeah, Vanguard Judge is going to come through, and huge for Kanye, going to be able to get the shutdown.
TP.
As we get 5th going to come through as well with half HP. As Dragon's Ascent's going to fall, 5th is going to be maybe in trouble. No, he's not. He has so much shielding and HP. This Mordekaiser is indeed a problem that I don't know if the solution is going to be there here for CB Ibiza. Kanye is looking to be able to do what he can, going to try to get what damage he can come through. He's going to try to get away, but he can't quite do it. Shutdown going over the Church of Dilly as 5th will survive that fight. It looks like he will not be able to get the obliterate damage onto Aerocross, but meanwhile, look at the play going on in the mid lane. Slytorque is going to come in and say thank you very much for the 300 as 2 towers are going to be consumed by Shelly.
Yes, and an insane gold swing there as now Mint Gaming is back in the lead. About 600 gold in favor of them here. And just, I, I don't even know what Arrow was doing there. Obviously, way too over aggressive and tried to take the fight into fifth. Got punished very hard, and the Dragon now spawning in 30 seconds. This is a potential Hextech Soul for CB Ibiza. Mint Gaming has to get to this bottom side river, has to get in, has to set up their vision, and has to gain control because you do not want to give Hextech Soul at 21 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and this is a fight that they can play. It is even gold, but you have fifth with 3-0-3. Kanye 2-1-2. You got Morello and Omicron unlocked as well, so you are denying some of the healing that they are looking for. This is a must-win dragon for Mint Gaming Rocky Road, and they do not want to take any chances here. But they're looking to be able to find what they can in this 5v5. Thunderbird Buster is going to flash forward into the Cyclone. All 5 members are going to be hit by it as Kanye moves forward. And it is going to be Thunder McBusters going down. But now the Inferno trigger and the damage is coming through. Kanye is still alive. Going to be able to get a double kill for Animantis, though, as a double kill for Singular Bright comes through before he goes down. It is a 3v3. Cytorque doesn't quite have the hostile takeover and won't be able to use it yet. Cytorque going to try to flash away, but no! It's going to be the ace and the triple kill for the Church of Dilly. Hextech Soul goes over to CB Ibiza.
Wow, and just another explosive team fight. And I feel like we see, this is one of the same things that we saw in the previous game, except it was by TD Aftermath here, is that in this fight, Thunder tried to go for the engage, but I don't know what happened. He used the W on the Wukong and then didn't get the E onto the actual members of CBI, so we had to flash to correct the mistake. And just a little, and then, was overextended at that point, just has to die pretty quickly in that team fight. And it was just a little bit, the rest of the team tried to overcorrect for that mistake. And it just ended up costing them the entire team fight there. Hextech Soul for CBI back in the gold lead. 2,000 advantage for them. Shutdown's going over. Dilly is massive now on this Ezreal 5-0-5, feeling so strong. Has the 2 items completed, working on that Serelda's Grudge as well. Once that 3rd item comes in, this is going to be really, really tough here. And it's Chitin. Oh, no. Whoa!
All right. Kobita now on the board, 1-5-3, gonna land the Fear Beyond Death, and we'll take that kill. Thunder McBusters now in trouble, and that's the power of the Hextech Soul. Thunder McBusters can't do anything about it. Dilly is dominating, and with 2 members down, one of them including the jungler, CB Ibiza is gonna look to go towards a Baron, and it should be uncontested.
Yeah, I think it should be as well, and it's just surprising to me at how these fights are going, despite the fact that Mint Gaming has a Mordekaiser, like you're at least, and this is referring to the fights at the neutral objectives, like that last dragon. Mint Gaming has a Mordekaiser, and Mordekaiser's ultimate is taking a champion out of the fight. And if you ult the jungler, they cannot smite. So I'm just, I don't know. Like, I mean, again, kind of misexecution there is, Fifth has to just be ulting Singular Bread when it comes down to these like 50-50 smite fights, or at least fighting around these objectives here, but. Definitely good job by CBI, playing well and just feeling really good in this game. And Dilly, of course, dishing out so much damage, and Arrow keeping him alive very, very effectively. And it's very fun to watch.
I mean, the Hextech Soul is such the major play, but Kaiden's going to be going in for a bush check, and now maybe in trouble. The Death Realm will get used. That is the play that Rocky Road needed to potentially get some damage. And Kobita,
This guy's inting.
I don't know what Kobita is doing. He gets teleports forward. He's going to flash away as well, and will utilize the Blasco to get away. But that is both summoner spells on your Urgot now away, and Kaiden's still dead.
Yeah, Chitin down. I mean, it's a free kill basically, and a teleport for free, and a flash for free. I mean, that's very good if you're Mint Gaming, getting a little bit back for yourself in these plays. And you have a numbers advantage now, and now would be a good time to force a fight if you can. Cyclone's not available, but Renata Ultimate is. So they
Yeah.
could look for something, but
It's Sly Torque that's looking to be able to maybe find the hostile takeover angle. If he can get it, it would be
Okay.
huge. And hostile
Oh, too
takeover
late.
will get started, and it's not going to matter. Sly Torque is
Oh.
going to get hit by Kobita, though. He's going to be hit by the loyalty program. Going to be using the bailout to try to be able to stay alive, but he can't quite do it. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Singular Bread's going to come in. Kanye with the Vanguard's Edge is going to try to be able to deal what damage he can, but no! Dilly deals so much more. And the Israel is godlike. Baron is still up for 53 seconds. And CB Ibiza is on track to win this game. And my 0-4 prediction curse. They are on fire right now, and they're going to take Inhibitor out of that moment.
Yeah, beautiful exhaust from Dilly there onto Kanye. Just mitigates all of the damage that Aurelia has. And, exhausted Aurelia in a 1v3 will never win. I mean, there's no possible way. It doesn't matter how fed you are. And Dilly playing out of their mind in this game here. CBI picking up that top lane tier 2. Fifth.
Oh, yeah,
Flash
teleporting forward, or flashing forward, pardon me, going to be able to stop 2 backs. Chitin is going to be in the Death Realm. They're going to be the target, and it will be Chitin going down. Adamantis getting some much needed gold out of that play.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's good. I don't think it's that good because there's nothing to fight for. There's no objectives coming through, but either way, you are getting gold onto your AD carry, so I don't know if it's exactly worth the Mordekaiser flash, but nonetheless, gold is gold, so.
I mean, I have to agree with you there because you look at the Dragon timer right now, 45 seconds until Elder Drake spawns, and you won't have flash. Death Realm is on a 104-second cooldown, so that will barely be up by the time the dragon spawns, and you cannot give it away. You cannot give it away if you are Mint Gaming Rocky Road, because if you do, you just lose the game right there. You can't go in for any fights for 3 minutes. So I don't know how Rocky Road is going to be able to make this happen, but they need to.
Absolutely, they do need to. 13 seconds on the Elder Dragon. All of CBI's already there. 5th. Gonna take some poke damage out, but this is the power of the poke composition that we were talking about in the pre-game show. A lot. It's so hard for Mint Gaming to actually walk in here, especially with the Hextech Soul. Dilly is smacking right now, dealing so much damage with these Mystic shots. Arrow as well. I mean,
yeah, and they know it too. Dilly is just chunking down the health bars, and now they can start Baron with half HP on some of these members here for Mint Gaming Rocky Road. They are feeling so good, but Thunderbeak Buster still has the Cyclone and does have the clone to potentially be able to get that damage in, and the play has begun. Hostile Takeover is going to come through into the Vanguard's Edge. It's going to be all the damage, and Kobita is going to go down. Adamantis with 1 kill, but it's a double kill for Singular Bread. 5th is going to go golden. Can't quite be enough damage, and Sly Torque remains to watch as everyone falls. It's an ace in favor of CB Ibiza, and they will win this game and will tie up the set score. 3-2 for both teams.
Absolute crazy fight there coming out from CB Ibiza, destroying everyone. So much damage from Dilly, so much damage from Singular Bread and Arrow as well, and just they're gonna give Mint Gaming their 2nd loss of the day. And now things start to get very, very interesting with this playoff contention here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Mint Gaming Rocky Road now giving up 2 crucial games over to TD Aftermath and now to TB Ibiza. The first game might have been a fluke, but the second game is now a trend. Mint Gaming Rocky Road is not performing at the same level that they were in week 1, giving 2 teams their 2nd and potentially 3rd wins of the game. And now we've got ourselves with 3 teams that are potentially in prime position to make it into the playoffs here.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting crazy here as so much is there's so much on the line at this point, right? These next couple games, we're still waiting for the TDA versus Chef matchup.
It just came in.
Through.
It just came in.
through?
Chef beat TDA.
What the heck?
Oh my god. What is this group?
Bro,
What the
is it a
heck is this
four-way
group?
tiebreaker now?
Oh
Oh
my
my.
god. Holy moly. No, 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 no.
Oh
No,
my
no.
god,
Okay.
dude, this is hilarious. I'm like,
So we're going to tiebreakers.
I have some tears in my eyes because I'm laughing from the hilarity of like this situation right now. This is
Okay.
just wait.
The only
What
way,
is the
so
actual standings right now? Like, because
the only way,
I can't count right now.
All right.
Go ahead,
So
right, James.
let me. Oh yeah, go ahead, Ray.
it
I got
looks like the only way that we don't go to tiebreakers is if MGR wins, beats Chef, and CBI beats TDA. I think if anything else happens, it's tiebreakers.
Oh my god.
100%, 100%.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I don't want a three-way tiebreaker tonight. That's 3 more games. That's 3 hours.
All right. All right. So
sorry to those that want their teams to win.
Dude, I was not
Just
ready for
saying.
this.
I'm just
I was
saying.
supposed to go to dinner. I had to cancel the dinner plans. We're in it for the long haul, boys.
Oh my god, I'm just laughing at the hilarity. But okay, let's really talk about the game so that way we can uh get some post-game analysis going, right? What what a wait. First of all, Moose, your curse did not work. You are
yes,
now 1-4.
I
Congrats.
am. But you know what? It's because I made the 5-head play that Mick Gaming Rocky Road actually lost. So am I really? Am I
You know,
really?
Mint Gaming's probably really mad
it
at
was a
you
win.
right
It
now.
was a win-win situation because even if Mid Gaming won, it was like, oh yeah, well I curse them into winning. But then even if they lost, it's like, oh well, I finally got my my dub.
Exactly.
I like how you set
Exactly.
that up. I like how you set that up.
But at what cost?
At what cost? Yes.
Depends if Mid Gaming wins the next game.
Um.
Is
I
that
I truly believe. I
mm-hmm.
truly believe that Mint Gaming Rocky Road was just playing for fun in these last two games. I do not think. I do not
You
think.
believe that at this point? At this point.
Yes, I believe that this game against Kitchen better becoming in super prepared because
But hopium is real.
I don't believe
Opium.
that we're going to be
Hey,
getting the game that we saw in these first two. I think that they will knock game 6 out of the park because they want to confirm their spot in the playoffs. But
right, change. You hear this?
I
I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it.
I got
I'm
the
gonna
hopium.
give you Moose. Look. I'm gonna call you Thanos because you apparently got the Reality Stone, and reality can be whatever you want to make it right now. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna send you my PO box, and you can send me whatever you got because I need some. That must be really strong. Whatever you got right now, because for you to say you think they were limit testing and all this, one game is okay, is a thing. Two is starting to become a trend. We don't have more than 2 games. We only have 3 games. So we can't say 3 is a trend. So 2 is a trend now. Like you've lost
Yeah.
2 games in a row.
I truly believe that we're going to see a completely different Rocky Road in game 3.
Yeah,
Completely different.
everybody's gonna be on tanks.
Yes. Yes, League of Tanks. You can buy it on the App Store. That's great.
Oh
Not
Oh
my.
not
my
sponsored,
goodness.
by the way. Not sponsored. Um
Unless.
unless
But
this Twitch
anyway,
is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
man, Church of Dilly, like, what a player, right?
Mm-hmm.
I what was his final stat
Eight
line? Let me
eight
see. Oh,
eight
go
oh
ahead, Righteous.
11. 8-0-11.
Yeah, they played the Poke comp really well, really well. Aurelia didn't really get off the ground as much as I thought she would have because well, this just in. Apparently, we are guaranteed a tiebreaker.
Wait, what?
Um, I, I was told we are actually
How?
guaranteed a tiebreaker. By the way, I guess we'll have to do some more. I'll let the stats folks get back to us on what that entails, but apparently there will be at least one tiebreaker tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to X to doubt because we still have two games available: Mint Gaming Rocky Road versus Kitchen, and then CB Ibiza versus TD Aftermath. The only way that we get tiebreakers is if either team, if either the lower teams, so in this case, if Kitchen beats Mint Gaming Rocky Road, or if TD Aftermath is able to beat if TD Aftermath is able to beat CB Ibiza, then both there'll be two tiebreakers. But if Mint Gaming Rocky Road wins, they will be 4-2. And then if CB Ibiza wins, they will be 4-2, and those will be our two finalists in the group. So, I mean, unless my math is incorrect, but that was one of my subjects that I was decent in.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. I don't think we're guaranteed a tiebreaker because
Okay, okay.
if MGR wins, if MGR wins and CBI wins, then
Then yeah, definitely not.
no
But
tiebreaker.
I think if it's I think our staff is banking on the opposite actually.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Or
so.
at least one of the teams losing. So but yeah, I mean, do we have any other thoughts about this game before we cut to break? I feel like we used most of our thoughts about the games talking about these potential tiebreakers and kind of bagging on Rocky Road losing. Any more analysis before we get to a short break here and prepare for our next game?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think the draft is better. I mean, the draft for
Mhm.
Mint Gaming was better, and I think they, I think Moose might be on the hopium, but I do believe that they can take this game. And I mean, how can you possibly go 3-0 the first day and then
They go
not win a
0-3 the
single game
next.
the second day? Like
Golden State gave up a
certainly,
3-1 lead.
okay, yeah. I mean, certainly, like you know, Mint Gaming has it, for this next game, or at least they
Surely
they
they
got
don't lose
something
to
in the
Team
pocket.
Kitchen.
They're
Surely.
cooking, dude. But like, I don't
I
know. Go ahead,
I
Moose.
I am first off, I am shooketh redacted that you brought up that as your analysis for 3-1 Golden State. Yes, of course, 100%. But in that game, once again, Mint Gaming Rocky Road drops the ball in the early game, and they give over unnecessary kills into the mid lane and in the ADC role for Dilly and for Kobita that results into the snowball once again against them that they had to try to rectify in the mid game. So I actually think that if Mint Gaming Rocky Road wants to win this, the best way for them to win this game is to play towards the early game here in game 3, utilize maybe their weak point, and don't try to go for this late game composition. Go for the early game and win the early game because we know you want to fight. We know you want to fight. We got to win these fights in order to make it happen. That's all I got.
Gotcha. So this just in from our wonderful Amateur World staff. We will have at least one guaranteed tiebreaker for seeding. So that will be the case. Like the rest of the scenarios, regardless of how things shape up, there's definitely going to be a tiebreaker for seeding. So we're going to have definitely one more game besides this next game we have scheduled up next for the night. So in the meantime, we're going to cut to a short break as we prepare for that game. It will be Mint Gaming Rocky Road versus Team Kitchen. You don't want to miss it. This night has just gotten a lot more exciting, and we'll be right back.